Welcome to the Soul Health Mentor podcast with Nadia Kraus. Learn how to move your awareness out of your mind and into your heart so you can embody your divinity, experience joyous peace of mind, and create your most vibrant life by opening to receive your soul's sacred medicine.
Welcome to the Soul Health Mentor podcast, the place where dreams don't get stuck in longing, but come to fruition. I'm Nadia Shana Kraus, founder of Soul Health Mentor and Company, and author of From Dreaming to Done, a soul map for finishing what you were born to do. In today's episode, we are starting afresh with a clear message. Don't die with a dream still alive inside you. Allow yourself to fulfill it. I'm going to share my personal story. I'm going to share with you the first time I heard the calling of being a writer. In my upcoming book, From Dreaming to Done, I tell you about many dreams come true. One of those dreams being my studio, Fitness for Body and Soul, at age 24. And that's exactly where I heard the call of being a writer for the very first time. It was 2003. But it wasn't until 2007 that I had my first book coaching weekend. And then nothing happened for a few years. I remember receiving the title of my book, the energy of my book. I wrote the first introductory chapter. Well, it wasn't a chapter. It was just the introduction to the book and what I was going to write. And I also remember the book coach telling me, okay, now you've got your title, you've got your introductory words, now go live your life and you will write about it. So even back then, my writing style was memoir meets guidebook. Of course, I didn't know that yet. It literally took another, 2003 was the first time I heard the calling in my studio, Fitness for Body and Soul. 2007 was when I took action on wanting to birth this book. So I had my first book coaching weekend. It took another 5 years to again hear the call and sign up for Christine Closer's Get Your Book Done. That was 2012. And then 2014, I followed through with a compilation book with Inspired Living Publishing. And this compilation book is called The Wisdom of Midlife Women Too, and it was just the Kindle edition. But that was literally the first time I became a best-selling author with other authors. And then it took another 6 years for the miracle of the magic of transformation to come to fruition. And the magic of transformation is the first solo book that I published. This miracle came about because I signed up for a course, a 3-month course called Build Your Brilliant Book, hosted by As You Wish Publishing in the United States. And what I found so appealing in that course was that it's going to help. I knew it was going to hold me accountable. I knew I needed help because I had been carrying this dream around with me for such a long time. I mean, think about it. The first time I heard the call was 2003. And then it was literally 17 years already because 2020 was when I found the Build Your Brilliant Book course. It was just time. It just was time. And it was also the activation really came through the pandemic. Like so many, I was housebound and I was working as a corporate health coach at the time, and I wasn't able to go on site. So I was doing my work, reaching out to wellness program participants via phone and email. But there was just a lot of time in between waiting for responses. So I knew that I just needed to follow through. And hearing about the course was perfect divine timing. And it wasn't just for accountability. What I loved about it is that you had the opportunity to submit your manuscript at the end of the 3 months everything you've worked on, you had the opportunities to submit your manuscript into a book writing contest. And it was just something fun that I had in my mind. And in the book, The Magic of Transformation, which is my very first memoir meets guidebook, and it really is about the woman that is awakening to her soul. It's called The Magic of Transformation, Igniting and Manifesting Soul Desires. So she's in the awakening process of really listening to her desires and starting to believe in magic, especially hers. And in the book, I have a chapter in there that is called A Mother's Love and a Daughter's Healing. And that chapter wasn't planned. It was the chapter that was added because as I was trying to complete this manuscript to submit into the writing contest, my mom transitioned into spirit world. And I remember not actually wanting to submit the manuscript because I was in the middle of saying goodbye to my mom. But I also believe that it was my mom that sent a message, a very clear message through another human being to just submit the manuscript as is, even if it isn't complete yet. And I kid you not, it was the magic of transformation in motion, igniting and manifesting my soul desires. I've had this soul desire to publish and to become a writer in a solo book for, I'd been holding it for 17 years, that dream. And I literally won the book writing contest. When I heard the news, I dropped to the floor. I dropped to the floor because I don't even know. I couldn't believe it. My inner critic was telling me how bad the book is, how nobody's going to understand because, it's this big life story in a 100-page book. And my inner critic, which I actually call the judge, and sometimes I call the judge an a-hole because it feels like so much more than an inner critic. It's not subtle criticism. It is mean talk. It is really a part of me, a subpersonality part that would hold me back if my heart and soul weren't the leading ladies in my life, the ones that are in charge. So I think that's why I dropped to the floor because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And then I remember reading my book when it was in my hands in printed form. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, this is brilliant. And it's so funny because my inner critic had me convinced, the judge had me convinced that it was really bad and nobody was going to understand. And then the reviews started pouring in. And women were loving this book. So, this book, The Magic of Transformation, Igniting and Manifesting Your Soul Desires, is for the awakening woman. So, it's the woman that is still trying to discover her dream. It's the woman that is starting to listen to her desires, to her inner voice. It is not the woman that already has a dream and she wants to get it done. All right. So, I just wanted to clarify that. And it's also this opportunity for me to share my story of connecting the dots of my journey, connecting the dots of my dreams. And I shared with you the dots of my writer's journey, and that's a part of my soul map. And the beautiful thing is that in my new book, which is coming out in the fall, I am so excited about that. And I'll tell you in a little while how you can get on the wait list to be the first to know when my book is published. So the book is called From Dreaming to Done, a soul map for finishing what you were born to do. And it is a memoir meets guidebook, but the beautiful thing about it is that it is also my own methodology. It's literally a gift of mine to be able to connect the dots in my own life and to listen to the clues that I'm getting via Spirit Dream Team and via my intuition, via the somatic hits that tell me go, or they tell me stop, or they tell me wait it out. Allow for realignment. So, in the book, you will be able to read my story, and at the end of each book, there's creative exercises and processes that will help you gather the clues of your soul map, which is really gathering the clues of your life, the recurring pattern, the things that have happened. And this book, From Dreaming to Done, is another dream come true. And at this point, I want to share with you my favorite quote by Neil Gaiman. And the favorite quote goes like this: "A book is a dream you hold in your hands." And as a nonfiction transformational author and writer, that quote just has so many layers. There's such multi-dimension to it. I like to write memoir meets guide books because I'm able to tell you about my threshold moments. What is a threshold moment? A threshold moment is really when you are standing at the edge of your evolution. And the edge of your evolution isn't comfortable. It's stretching you. And when I stand at these threshold moments, I feel them in my body. And I feel them in my body as pressure or as somatic hits where I just know I need to go. And because I'm connected to my heart and soul and to my body in the sense of its body wisdom, intuition, somatic wisdom, I have been able to follow my heart and make dreams come true. And just recently, before I started writing the manuscript for From Dreaming to Done, did I hear about the number one regret of the dying? The number one regret of the dying is, I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself and not the expectations of others. And I do share the story of what the German word Herzensmensch means. It just means that it's a heart-centered human. And in Germany, I was told that I'm a Herzensmensch all the time. And it was a compliment. And at the same time, I was criticized for following my heart, for being a dreamer, an idealist, because I believe in my best life. I believe in your best life. I believe in the best expression of community and global well-being and health and wealth. So I've been living a life true to myself. I've developed the courage to create a life that is true to me and not the expectations of others. I've learned how to create success on my own terms. And that's why I had to wait with the podcast. It took 2 years. It took 2 years for the podcast to relaunch because when I launched the podcast the first time, it was after writing the book, The Magic of Transformation, Igniting and Manifesting Soul Desires. And it was all about awakening you. It was all about connecting you to your heart. The tagline was out of your mind and into your heart. I still live by that because I'm a Herzensmensch. However, it's different. The frequency is different. It's unlocking, right? So it was all about unlocking. Now, From Dreaming to Done is about finishing. It's about connecting to your soul map so that you can know what you were born to do. And I'm just so grateful and excited that my soul has been guiding me in this. My heart has been guiding me in this. So let's pause for a moment. I want you to connect to your body right now. So the first thing is I want you to just stop. You don't have to stop what you're doing if you're taking a walk and listening to this podcast, or if you're driving in your car listening to this podcast, if you're cooking. You don't have to stop what you're doing, but I want you to internally stop. Slow down, breathe, let out a sigh, and listen to the answer of the next question that I'm going to ask you. What is the first emotion you feel in your body when you think about your dream? What is the first emotion you feel in your body when you think about your dream? And feelings don't always have words to begin with. Sometimes it's just sensations in your body. So connect to that right now. Wait for an inner response and take note. At this point, I want to speak an invitation. From Dreaming to Done is launching this fall, and you can enter the Soul Dreamers Circle for your soul map gift and early access to the book by going to bit.ly/soulmapgift. And you will also find that link on my podcast website in the show notes on soulhealthmentor.com. And the reason I mention this gift right now, because the first question that I just asked you is part of a 3-question process that I call the Soul Map gift. And it is a 10-minute ritual, a guided meditation visualization to return to your dream. 10 minutes. And I'm just so looking forward to you trying it. And I look forward to hearing your feedback. So the philosophy From Dreaming to Done at the core is really about realizing that dreams are not coincidences. They are soul visions that want to be lived. But a dream and a vision alone is not enough. It wants structure, clarity, and your courageous yes to completion on an ongoing basis. It takes step-by-step, soul-aligned, consistent action. And here, in this podcast and in my book, Completion is Love, Finishing is Freedom. You know, many dreamers do remain in a fog. And many dreamers do have endless ideas, but no implementation. So my podcast and my book are the bridge from inspiration to action, from vision to structure. This is an invitation to the new era. This is the frequency we will maintain here in the podcast and in the book. In solo episodes or chapters, I share soul map talks, reflections, creative tools, threshold moments. In dialogues on the podcast, I invite women who not only dream dreams, but courageously fulfill them. And again, I will give you little nudges that connect you directly to your own soul capital frequency. Because when you nourish your inner capital, clarity, structure, nervous system regulation, money and wealth, capital flows. It follows. And you become part of a movement within yourself and a movement within like-hearted women who are making their dreams visible and real. So please, become part of the Soul Dreamers Circle. Enter the threshold from Dreaming to Done for your soul map gift and early access at bit.ly/capital soul, capital map, capital gift, all one word. The link is also in the show notes on soulhealthmentor.com. I am Nadia, your host, and I don't help you dream more. I help you finish the dream your soul has never let go of. And remember, completion is love, finishing is freedom. This is the Soul Health Mentor way.
Thank you for listening to the Soul Health Mentor podcast with Nadia Kraus. If you like what you heard, please subscribe, rate, and review at Apple Podcasts or wherever podcasts are playing.